Today we're going to jump right in and go over what we talked about in class about rhythms and about putting our fingers on the strings with our left hand to be able to change the notes and change the pitches. So this is on page 9 in your book. That's what we're going over again today. Also, a reminder, you should be practicing every day on how to hold your bow, teaching somebody else on how to hold it in class. You can, if you're just sitting and listening, you can just hold your bow. Cellos, bass, violins, and viola. Just hold your bow and practice just keeping your fingers in the right spots. It's a lot lighter with your pencil. So keep up that about getting our bow grips together, keeping them nice and relaxed and all your fingers nice and curved. So on page 9, we're going to be talking about beat and rhythm. So beat, again, is the nice steady pulse of the music, and the rhythm is going to be how the melody or how the notes change. Some of them are fast and some of them are slow. So we're going to talk about and go over again, we're going to review how you tell that rhythm code. This is the stuff that's in here, right? So all the notes, all those symbols of notes to write rhythms, they all have a head, a flag, a stem, and the dots. So the head is that round part, the circle. It can be hollow or it can be filled in. And the stem is upright like a flower stem, and then the flag is sideways like a flag in the breeze. And the dot always goes to the right side. If it's underneath or over top, it's going to mean something totally different. So the dots for rhythms always go on the side. So we have official names for our notes, for the combinations of those. We have official ones, and then we have our fruit salad nicknames that help us know what they're supposed to sound like. I had one of you ask about if we're going to be using those throughout, and we will, but we are also going to use traditional ways of counting rhythms like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or 1 and a 2 and a. We'll be incorporating that in. These are just nicknames to help us kind of get a feel for them. Okay, so our first one that we're going to review is our, where am I? Oh, there we go, quarter note. Okay, so quarter note looks like this. It's got a head, a black head, and that's filled in, and one stem. No flags or dots or anything. That's our quarter note, and it gets red. So if this was our beat, then our notes, I'm going to just do pizzicato and guitar position for the violins. So if this was our beat, it's nice and steady. A red quarter note lasts from one snap to the next. Red, 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 red. Okay? Now its silent twin is this quarter rest. It's that squiggly, it looks like a Z with a tail on it. That's how I draw them. And it's a quarter rest. It means just the exact same amount of time, but except of silence. So instead of having a red sound go from one beat to the next, we'd have silence. So it would go rest, 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 rest. And we whisper that. I loved how we talked about them being shh notes. So they're quiet, they're silent, but they still have to be a set amount of time. They can't just be any old length. That's why we have the quarter note to rest to tell us about. All of our notes are going to have rests. We're only going to talk about quarter rests today. The next one are eighth notes. Okay, we've got our eighth notes right here. By itself, it has the fancy flag that flies down to the side. If one of them is by itself, but if we have two or more hooked together that are right in a row, then we hook them together with a horizontal line. So it's like the flag is stretched out in between each of them, stretching over all of them together. So when we have two of them together, they're apples. And each eighth note is half of a beat. So instead of getting our reds that sound like this, red, 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 our eighth note apples, two of them fit in there. So it goes apple, 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 apple. So they're twice as fast as our quarter notes. Eighth notes are twice as fast as quarter notes. The last one that we have is the half note. That one right there. And that looks like a quarter note, except it's hollow. The head is hollow, and it gets 2 beats. So it's twice as long as a quarter note. And we call that one a mango. So here's our reds. Red, 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 red. Mango, 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 mango. So those are our half notes. Okay, so we're going to move on to the fruit salad rhythm box down here that goes through all of those, okay? I'm just going to start. I basically did 1, 2, 3, and 4 just a second ago. Please go through those. And then together we can do number 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm going to be kind of looking down because I have them down here, but play along with me. I'm going to do this playing with my bow. You can pizzicato along so you can hear it. If you feel after a couple of days of practicing, you're going to feel like you can transition to your bow, that's great. Just get your instrument up here, change to your beginning bow hold, double check that thumb underneath. Remember, violins and viola, you have it right here. Cellos, I will switch to your instrument and bass in just a second. Okay, so this is number 6, or no, number 5. We're gonna do number 5. I'm going to play it twice in a row. You can listen one time and then play with me the next, or do both. Play along if you've got these down. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 in a row, right in a row. I'm not going to have any space in between. So we're going to do them. We're just repeated right after, one after another. 1, 2, ready, go. Red, red, apple, apple. Red, red, apple, apple. Number 6. Apple, apple, red, red, apple, apple, red, red. Number 7, red, apple, red, apple, red, apple, red, apple. Number 8, red, red, mango, red, red, mango. Number 9, mango, red, red, mango, red, red. Okay, please repeat that. Like, go ahead and pause and play that by yourself. Once through without me, you can play it on any of the strings. Get really good at it. You can drum them if you have a drum. If you're doing this like in the car or something like that, if you're on vacation, just clap and say them at the same time, and get really good at those. Okay, we're gonna go on to page 10, and we talked about how to put our fingers on the string. Everyone should have tapes on their instruments. I don't have tapes on my instrument. Eventually, tapes are just a way of being able to know where to put your fingers at first. The goal is to be able to take those tapes off and to be able to know where your fingers go without them. Okay, so cellos, I'm actually going to start with you. Cellos, you have a tape right at the beginning. Also, we put that little soft piece of Velcro on the back of your instrument, so that is where your thumb's going to go. Again, you're going to be holding your cello like this, okay? Your thumb is across from those middle 2 fingers. They're like chompy teeth, okay? So we put our thumb on the back, and then your fingers are going to go straight on, okay? So my second finger is across from my thumb, and the second and third finger are like best friends. They work together. Because the cello is bigger, those 2 fingers are always working together. Okay, so your third finger should be on the red tape. And then, and we changed our fingers. I forgot to say this. So if you play piano, then you will have your fingers numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because your thumbs play the piano. Because in string instruments, our thumbs sit on the back of the instrument, or for violins on the side, violins and violas on the side, cellos and bass, it's on the back. We don't count that thumb. It's a 0. So your fingers are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And 2 and 3 are working together. So first finger is pointer. Same thing for violins and violas. First finger is pointer, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we start with cello, and for bass, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put all 4 fingers, you're going to start with your 4th finger, put all 4 fingers on at once. Cellos, put your 2 and your 3. The 3 should be on the second tape. It should be red. So you have a black tape back here, a red tape on the fingerboard right here, and then another black tape right there, and that's where your 4th finger goes, your pinky. Okay, and then the first finger lays on its side. Okay, the first finger is not up on its tip. First finger lays on its side, but 2, 3, and 4 are right on the tip. Okay, now you don't want your thumb going like this on the back or pushing. If you have a hitchhiker thumb, we want to have these nice and loose. Got to have your thumb loose. We're going to be moving it around eventually, so we got to have a nice loose thumb. You're going to have your arm, see how it goes down? Don't let your arm rest on your cello. That changes the direction and pulls on those tendons. Okay, we need to have a nice straight, from your fingers all the way to your elbows, a nice straight line. Not way up here, not back here, not out here, anything funny like that, okay? Just gonna have our fingers on there, okay? And we're gonna pizzicato. I'm on the D string, We're going to pizzicato violins and violas. If you're still watching this part, then go ahead and pizzicato along with us if you've done this in class already. Okay, so we have open, first finger, 2 and 3 go together, and then fourth finger. 4, and then we're going to go back down. 3, take off 3 and 2, 1, and open. Okay, if you're getting a dead sound, means you need to use your hand weight to pull that string tighter against. Don't squeeze with your thumb, but use your arm weight to pull backwards. Okay, so that's what we talked about at the very end of class. Violins and violas. Okay, you've got your instrument up here. You should have your tapes on. Again, I don't have my tapes, but that's okay. You're gonna move your hand backwards. If you got a little thing back there, a little softy there, that's where your thumb goes. The tape should be across. Your thumb goes just on the peg side of that first finger tape. Then this is really important. Whoops, just hit my cello. The first finger line right here is where it meets the top of the fingerboard. Okay, not down here, that's the second space. All the way up here at the first space. Right behind, again, right behind that first finger tape, and then your first finger folds straight down onto the tip. So you see, your first finger is gonna look like this, not like this. It's gotta be up tall, okay? And then your second finger goes on that red tape, second finger tape, and then the third finger goes on the third tape, fourth finger goes on the fourth tape. This is on the D string. Each time you put a finger on, you're going to change notes. Your wrist, again, this is the most important part that we talked about. You're not going to be able to tell at first. This is going to feel like it's right. But if you do that, you won't be able to shift or do vibrato or play in tune or play fast. So to do all of those things, we need to have a nice straight wrist and have our fingers go straight down on the strings. Okay? You're going to get some lines in your fingers, and that's okay. They're supposed to be there. That helps you know if you're doing them right. You also need to have short fingernails. You can't have long fingernails on your left hand. You can have them on your bow hand, but on the left hand they have to stay short. That's even maybe a little bit too long right there. My nails are getting a little bit long. Okay, so that's as far as we got on this page. We just went down into this first section. Read this, review it, read this, learn that. If you want to go on to this part, you can. That would be great. Next week, we're going to start talking about our musical alphabet, really starting to learn the notes on the fingerboard, on the strings, and we're actually going to start playing real songs next week. So please keep your practice habits going. Remember, 5 days, only 15 minutes. Keep up the good work. You guys are awesome. I love teaching you. It's been so fun so far, and I know we are all excited to get into actually playing real songs. So keep up the good work, and so you are going to practice those things that we went over. Also, I don't think I went over this in class, but fill in the second half of this theory page, okay? If you do this, you get an extra bonus. And also, this game now, hopefully you've been playing this one, you can now add in doing the rhythms that are on there. So when you pick off, so if you read the instructions, you're gonna cover all of these. When it's your turn, you're gonna take off one. So say I'm gonna take this skittle or penny off right there. Then I'm going to go to my A string and pizzicato this rhythm of red, rest, red, rest. And then I'm gonna pretend to make a basket if I want to. And then you get to keep that penny or eat the skittle or the whatever it is on there that you put on there, and you'll get a point. And just go through all of them. Play with a sibling, teach them about the rhythms, or a parent or a friend or anything. Anyway, I know this video was a little bit longer. Thank you for hanging in there with me, and we will see you guys next week. Thanks.